What's up, everybody? My name is Brad and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here, hanging out for the very first time. Appreciate you stopping by, hanging out while we chat for a while. Today we're doing something a bit different, a bit new. As you can see, I'm in the car driving down the road, so I'm just trying to pay attention to the road and not so much to the camera. But today, what are we doing? We're doing kind of a vlog video, which I've never really done before. I did like one or two way back in the day. But today I'm heading over to Berea for an author event, and two authors are going to be there. Todd Keisling, who you may know as the author of Devil's Creek and Scanlines and The Final Reconciliation. He's got a new short story collection coming out really soon, maybe this month, September, October sometime, from Cemetery Dance. And his collection is called Cold, Black, and Infinite. So Todd is going to be there. This is his sort of book tour. I think it's for the re-release of Devil's Creek. He's on this book tour. And I believe this is his final stop on tour here in Kentucky. And then he's going to be joined by fellow author Laurel Hightower, friend of the channel, probably the most appeared guest on Paper Cuts, tied with Megan Lucas. But she's going to be there as well. She's the author of Whispers in the Dark, Crossroads, Below. She has a newer collection out called Every Woman Knows This. And she's got a new book coming out in October, if I'm not mistaken, called Silent Key with Flame Tree Press. It's going to be her new novel. So I've met Laurel in person one or two times before. I've never met Todd in person, so it's always cool to meet these authors in person after you've had conversations with them online and stuff like that. So it's gonna be fun. So yeah, we'll see how this video turns out. I'm on the road. I'm not sure how loud this is or how shaky the camera is, so this may or may not get used. I guess if you're watching this, the footage is getting used, and if not, it'll be stored in the vaults forever. But we'll check in later once we get closer to the bookstore. We have, I don't know, probably about 45 minutes left or so on the road. So we'll hang out, we'll let you all watch while I drive, and I'll chat to y'all later once we get to the bookstore. So we have arrived. The Tailless bookstore is... Time out. Wait. Pause the video. Just, Jesus Christ. So this is future Brad editing this video, talking to past Brad, that the name of the bookstore is not the Tailless bookstore. It's the Tailless dog bookstore. Apparently, past Brad doesn't even know the words that are coming out of his mouth. So, and I think I say it again in a minute. It's the Tailless dog bookstore, not the Tailless bookstore. I had to interrupt because that really was getting on my nerves. But anyway, we'll unpause and we'll get back to the video. Right down the street, we're down here in Berea, where Berea College is. I think this is part of Berea College right here. I brought my copy of Every Woman Knows This. I had bought this before. I'm gonna have Laurel sign it today. So we're gonna walk down the street to the bookstore. I saw the sign, Tailless Bookstore. It's a pretty nice little area. You can start to see the mountains. You can't see them right where we're at, but last few minutes of the drive, you could start to see the mountains of eastern Kentucky popping up, heading towards the Appalachians, which is really cool. We'll flip the camera. Bookstore right up here. So let's go ahead and head on in.
this. It's called Every Woman Knows This. The first story is called Every Woman Knows This. It's fairly short and really bitchy. There's a certain kind of smile that it's not safe to return. Every woman knows this. It's the one from the predator, the anglerfish, who shines a light of false friendliness in the darkness of a seabed you were swimming through just fine on your own. Taken unawares, you didn't even want the bait. Not hungry, you hunt your own food, but an ingrained drive you barely understand causes you to smile back before you realize. Now you're caught. The hook lifts your lips ever higher, a smile you never meant and wish you could take back, widening on unwilling lips. You turn away from the anglerfish. You turn away, but the anglerfish follows, as does conversation, the next step in this dance. You're only here for liquor, a staple in your diet, and you already know what you want, the neck of the bottle curled in one hand. You don't need the anglerfish's advice or opinions, and you don't like him getting so close. You hurry through the transaction, wondering for a moment if the clerk will throw you a lifeline, but his eyes are on a different kind of chase. His attention creeps over your shoulder to the woman who works the drive-through window, both ready for the night to end, and he doesn't see the fish swim after you out the door into the night. The lock clicks in place, the sign turns to closed, and you are alone, staring down a floating Cheshire grin with far too many teeth. Still polite, but the veneer disintegrating, you wonder if you can swim fast enough for him to get the hint before his temper flares. Anglerfish are known to be volatile, so a light fin is needed here. Not enough encouragement to deserve what might happen to you. Not enough assertion to bruise the fish's ego, raise his ire. Your half-hearted responses and hunched shoulders should be enough of a visual cue for this fish to fuck off, but that hook is still in your lip, and he's not stopping until he reels you in. You wish you were a squid. Could spurt inky fluid at him that would obscure you from his sight, muddle his concentration, and allow you to escape. Maybe a beta, one of those warrior fish, unafraid of battle. Even a puffer would be good, the ability to blow yourself up, spikes on every surface, not worth the effort it would take to consume you. But you're none of these things. You're a plain remora, dull-colored, nothing flashy. You hope to avoid attracting attention. You have no built-in defenses, and your shark is nowhere in sight tonight. It's just you and the predator, so you can't go home. He'll follow you, he'll know where you live, and there will be no peace then until he gets what he wants. You see this knowledge reflected in his dead black eyes, and now you're angry. You square your shoulders and tell him to go. You're done with this conversation. His expression goes ugly as you knew it would, gills flaring as he spits out the epithet you've been waiting for. Bitch, he says. That smile you never should have returned, twisting to a sneer.
Perfect.
Give me a funny or gross one more time.
Gross.
Gross.
Do a show of hands.
There's always one in the crowd.
All right, we're going with gross. I'm sorry. So this story is called Afterbirth. This is funny and gross, but Karen's talking to me again, even though I haven't grown a mouth. Her day at the clinic didn't go as planned. Someone caught her digging through the bin of biological waste, and she had to lie about losing a piece of jewelry, and somehow that's my fault. I'm not growing fast enough, she tells me. The ritual should have worked by now. I should have arms and legs, teeth, a fuzzy head of hair, eyes as bright as stars in the sky. I don't have a mouth to tell her she's an idiot for complaining to a pile of goo. I can't tell her I didn't make up the rules. 11 candles for the 11 points in the tree of life, lines of salt to connect them, the summoner's blood to express their devotion, and the most important ingredient, human flesh. There's nothing in the scripture that says how long this process takes. The human elders who communed with the void in the early days of man weren't given specific instructions. She's lucky the ritual even survived this long, but try telling her that. No, Karen, your summoning ritual of choice isn't guaranteed. You can't beg for a miracle from beyond the void and expect an answer on your terms. The void is chaos for a reason, lady. If I could speak, I'd scream that this sort of thing doesn't account for time as she perceives it. Yes, the old grimoire she stole from the library should have some sort of fine print, but I didn't write the damn thing. I'm not the author. I'm just the other, a voice from the void, and when I'm called, I answer. Or I would, if I had a mouth. I'll be honest though, for as straightforward as necromancy tends to be, this sort of thing rarely works out. I mean, sure, they'll summon one of us to inhabit the body of whatever they're trying to resurrect, but they always lose the constitution to follow through. Most of them don't have the stomach to deal with the day-to-day upkeep. I suppose it's one thing to keep cutting yourself in an act of devotion, another altogether when it comes to supplying your flesh. I've seen some would-be necromancers who are absolute head cases, but Karen's on another level.
All right, so I'm back home. It's been a few days since the event with Todd and Laurel down in Berea at the Tailless Dog bookstore, not the Tailless bookstore. I think Todd called it the Summer of Dread book tour, which is a cool name. I think that's what he was calling it. But like I said, I'm back home. I just wanted to show off the books I got while I was down there in Berea. I picked up a sticker from the bookstore itself, the Tailless Dog bookstore. Be sure you always support your local indie bookstores. And then this book, like talked about in the video, I did not buy this one down there. I took it down there in hopes of having Laurel sign it for me, which she was kind enough to do. Every Woman Knows This. This is her newest collection. I think that's her only collection, if I'm not mistaken, from Death Nil Press. And she read during the video from the very first story, which is also called Every Woman Knows This, the title story. It's just a snippet. It wasn't the full story in the video, so you'll have to buy the collection to see how that story ends, and then read all the other stories as well. Oh yeah, this is a really cool collection. Laurel had her novella Below for sale down there, but I have like 3 copies of that already, so I didn't buy one of those. So I need to do a giveaway for Below. So that might be coming soon because I don't need all 3 copies. I need just the one, and then the other 2 can go to other homes as well. But I had Laurel sign Every Woman Knows This, which she was, like I said, very kind enough to do. And then I got some books from Mr. Keisling, Todd himself. He had a bookmark along with it, black, white, and dread all over. And then he's got his handsome mug on the back of it. All right, so what did I get from Todd? So first up, I picked up Devil's Creek, which I had a copy of the old edition with the old publisher of Devil's Creek. And this is the bigger, badder, new, and improved version of Devil's Creek. And that's got this cool Bram Stoker Award nominee sticker on the front. And you can tell by the ink, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So Todd redid the layout for this, and it's really cool. I'll kind of try to flip through. I don't know if you can tell. But as you go through the book, the pages get darker and darker. And it's like the corruption is growing and growing as you get further and further along in the story, which is really cool. It's got a map in here that's been added. The font size is bigger, so it's a higher page count, but the story itself I don't think has changed, but the font is bigger. Just overall, really, really cool, nice, clean looking presentation. The new edition is from Cemetery Dance. So yeah, definitely go pick it up if you haven't read it already. It's a new introduction with Ronald Malfi. Ronald Malfi is a cool guy as well. It's got blurbs on, looks like S.A. Cosby has blurbed it, which is cool. John Langan's blurbed it, a bunch of others have blurbed it. I love this book. I'll link my review to it up here in the cards. That was like one of the very first reviews I did, like I filmed an intro for it, which now looking back, it's probably really cheesy and cringy, but it was fun at the time to do. It's probably still cool, but yeah, I picked up the new edition of Devil's Creek, and Todd was kind enough to sign it for me. What's it saying here? Get thee to church, fellow heathen, which is cool. So I got the new edition of Devil's Creek, and then like a back alley deal, he sold me some other books as well. I picked up a copy of Scanlines. This is from Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, which is run by Max Booth, who does Ghoulish books. I feel like I had this one on Kindle, but I do not think I had a physical copy. And if I did, I don't know where it is at. This is a novella. It's really short. It's just barely 100 pages. I've heard really, really good things about this one. And it's super dark. And what Todd signed in here made me laugh. It's the feel-good hit of 2001, which it is not a feel-good hit because it's a very dark story. If you can tell by the cover kind of what this guy's doing, you kind of know what's going on with that. So I picked up Scanlines. I'm really looking forward to that one because I've been wanting to read that one for a long time. So I'm glad I have a copy. And then lastly, I picked up from Todd. He was kind enough, I believe this is one of his author copies, so he was kind enough to sell this one to me early because it's not out yet. And this is what Todd read from during the video as well. This is his new collection coming out in September. I don't know the exact date in September, but I think it's like mid-September. Cold, Black, and Infinite. This is his new short story collection, also put out by Cemetery Dance as well. I love the cover on here. It's a very bleak looking cover. It's really cool looking. And like I said, this is what Todd read from. He read the story Afterbirth during the reading. To Brad, Touch the Abyss. I like how this one's broken up. It's broken up into different sections: Cold, Black, and Infinite. I think there's about 16-ish stories in here. It's got a foreword by John Langan. And Todd did, I'm assuming Todd probably did the layout for this one as well. Let's see if I can remember what page that was. I was flipping through here earlier. Yeah, this page is really cool looking, the layout of it. So Todd does really cool layouts for books and cover designs and whatnot, in addition to being a fantastic writer as well. So be on the lookout for this one, his newest short story collection coming September, sometime next month. Cold, Black, and Infinite from Cemetery Dance Publications. And that's it. That was my little vlog, driving down to Berea, hanging out with Todd and Laurel. It was a fantastic time. I had a blast getting to see Laurel again, getting to meet Todd in person for the very first time. Got to meet his lovely wife as well. And then Todd was kind enough to sympathy invite me, maybe. I'm kidding. I think it was a genuine invite, but I got to go out and eat dinner with Todd and Laurel and Todd's wife and his mom. Had a blast. Went to go eat some Mexican food. It was just all around a fantastic time. I'm glad I went down there, and I'm looking forward to attending other author events within driving distance as well. So if you have a local bookstore or indie bookstore that puts on author events like this and you have the means and opportunity to go, I highly suggest you do so because they're a lot of fun. I think the support really means a lot to the authors coming out, showing support for them. Whether you buy a book or not, I'm sure they're just happy that you're there. But of course, I'm sure they're extra happy if you buy some of their books as well. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'll probably head down to the Tellus see, I did it again. The Tellus Dog bookstore in the future if they get any other cool authors down there. But yeah, that's it. I'm starting to ramble now, so I'm going to wrap this up. But hope you all enjoyed the video, the vlog. If you like this sort of video, I don't really do these very often, but if you like the vlog style video, let me know down in the comments. I might do some more of these in the future. But thanks to Todd and Laurel for letting me hang out with them down there. That's it. That's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for spending your time with me. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.